women have for their own lives are actually changing quite rapidly.
All right, Nishiji, same question to you, ma'am.
So I feel that for one thing, schools mirror the aspirations of society. And so whatever happens in society is in a way, in a microcosm, seen in schools as well. So conversations with girls especially will change because the world is changing out there. And education has to prepare children for a future, however nebulous and vague it may be. But the thing is that the topic that you selected for today, to pass on the torch, sometimes you have to light a torch before you can pass it on. And that lighting of the torch is what it takes to be relevant in education. In my case, my students and I were looking for a project to start service in our school. And inevitably, when girls look for service, they will look for their own kind. And we ended up setting up a sanitary napkin manufacturing unit in the school. And that became an experiential learning project in the school itself. But I'd like to talk about 3 things that happened at that time. When we wanted to wean away underprivileged women from the unhygienic alternatives that they were using, we faced a lot of challenges from older women in the village who would look down upon us and say, "Inko sharam nahi aati hai, aisa kaam karte hain." It was all right for us to hear it in the village to some extent, but in my own school, my teachers were telling me, "What are you trying to do? There are men in the administrative block, and you've set up this machine in a room in the admin block." I thought this was perhaps something which was only limited to India, but when I made a presentation about it in an international forum in South Africa, the gentleman sitting next to me was a headmaster from Australia, and he said, "You know, it's all very well, but we don't have this kind of a gender bias in our country." Soon thereafter, a lady walked up to me and said, "I'd like to know more about this project that you do." So I said, "Sure, sit down, let's talk about it. Or I have another session coming up, we'll talk about it." And she said, "No, we'll wait till the men go away." And she turned out to be the teacher from the same school where this gentleman was sitting. So it's not something which is endemic only to our country, only to a village, only to a school. It is much more widespread, and therefore, as the motto of my school says, "Tamso ma jyotirgamaya." One has to light the torch and then pass it on.
Excellent. And